Today is September 4th, 2015, and we are looking at the water vapor loop for the Northeast Pacific. And today we see that Tropical Storm Ignacio has merged with a spinning low that was formed here a couple of days ago. So these two systems have merged now, and we see that there is a transmitter focused right here. Okay, and this is going to follow a flow path around this high, which is still here and parked, and that'll move down towards the west coast. All right, now Hurricane Jimena right here is seems to be it's forecast to be moving northwest, but to me it looks like it's almost moving backwards. But the reports on the National Hurricane Center, which is right here, Hurricane Jimena is reported to be moving northwest at 5 miles per hour. All right, and it still has 85 mile per hour winds. All right, now Ignacio has 75 mile per hour winds and is moving northwest at 13 miles per hour, and that's the storm that's merging with that spinning low that was generated up in the up north of that area. Okay, so Kevin is moving north at around 9 miles per hour. It has 60 mile per hour winds, and we can see that this high is building in even stronger, and we can see this dipping down. That's going to cut this whole tail off of this storm right here, Jimena, and that will also push this hurricane over Baja and up probably into Arizona and New Mexico. All right, now this storm is being hit pretty good by some HARP transmitters, some microwave transmitters right here, and we'll get to look at that here in a second. Kilo, meantime, is still being hit. It's moving to the north. Well, yesterday it was moving to the west-southwest. I haven't checked the direction of that, but mainly it was focused on these two storms here and what's happening here. So we've got a flow that's going to move up and around. The storm will move up and around and back towards the United States. And we'll keep an eye on that. All right, so let's go look at some of the other things going on here. All right, here is Tropical Storm Kevin right here, and we can see a blast pattern. And we can also see some HARP rings, some blast rings. We'll get to see that here in a second. And we can see the core diminish and then rebuild. Let's go look at this in the this is the infrared loop. Okay, and this storm is actually moving ever so slightly towards the east. It's moving basically north, but it's you can see the tail here. It's moving to the northeast. So that storm will probably go over Baja and Mexico and up through Arizona. They're going to keep that out of California, though, that's for sure. Even though we've had a 4-year drought, they're going to keep that storm out of California. All right, now here's the rings generated by the high power blast by a transmitter, and we can see the pock mark right in the center, right there. Right there. Let's watch that. Right after you see that pock mark, then we see a very high velocity series of shock waves move out of that the core of that storm. That is a highly focused, probably a microwave blast that heats the core of that system so fast that we get intense heat and expansion of the air, and that's what causes these giant rings that move out at high velocity. And by heating the core, it weakens the storm. And when you weaken the storm, that can save lives. It can prevent rain. You know, a lot of different things. Mostly bad. We need some rain. They should allow some rain to come into California. Anyhow, let's carry on here. Next, this is the southwest water vapor loop. Here's the leading edge of Kevin, Tropical Storm Kevin. We can see the blast pattern right here on this flank here, the northwest flank of that storm right there. Okay, here is the rainbow loop, the infrared. And we can see the blast pattern here. And there's a lot of rain moving up into Mexico and Arizona and New Mexico. All right, now here is the, this is the visible light mode. Let's get this thing straightened up. All right, not much to see in this view. Let's go back and take a look again at the Kevin right here is being blasted. There's no question about that. You can see the rings, and they are working on it hard to lessen the damage that this storm could cause as it moves up through the Mexico and Baja area and up towards the United States. And here is Jimena. This storm is also being hit. We can see some violent interaction going on here in the core of that system, and some blast pattern right there all through those rings, those bands. Okay, so that's pretty much it. We'll do an update later today on what's happening with Kevin. We're supposed to get a lot of big surf from all of these storms, rip currents, because you've got waves traveling in this direction and that direction. That creates a lot of turbulent water, rip currents and all that. So anyhow, we'll keep an eye on this too. This is Ignacio that's merged with this other low pressure system here. It is merging with those two systems are merging, so we'll keep an eye on all that, and we'll do an update later. That's it.